Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So it's 2026 and honestly, the iPhone lineup has never been this confusing. I've got the iPhone 16 Pro here. This is the Desert Titanium model and the brand new iPhone 17 in this really soft lavender finish. Usually the advice is simple. Just buy the newest one or buy last year Pro, right? But this year, it's different. The iPhone 17 base model has finally grown up. It's got the ProMotion display. It's got the size. But does that mean it actually beats last year's Pro iPhone? I've been using this iPhone 16 Pro as my backup daily driver since January 2025. I actually picked it up from a friend a few months ago, and as you can see, the battery health is still holding strong. Well, it's at 99% with about 190 cycles on it, which is insane for a used device. And then I have the iPhone 17, which I've been using heavily for the last 3 months alongside my main 17 Pro. In this video, I want to do a real humble side-by-side comparison. We're going to talk about that new liquid glass design in iOS 26, the performance of the A19 chip versus the A18 Pro, and honestly, why I think one of these is actually a huge steal right now. If you're sitting on an older iPhone, maybe an iPhone 14 or 15, and you're confused about whether to go for the shiny new 17 or save some cash on a 16 Pro, this video is for you. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk design. The iPhone 16 Pro, man, this desert titanium color is still sleek. For me, it's probably the best color they've done. It's elegant without being too flashy. Even after a year of use, the titanium feels premium and lightweight. It's got that cold metal feel that just screams professional. On the other hand, the iPhone 17 has these softer edges. It's aluminum, so it's not as dense, but it's really comfortable to hold. And this lavender color, it's a vibe. It matches the whole aesthetic of the new iOS really well. Size-wise, they are actually very similar now. The iPhone 16 Pro bumped the screen up to 6.3 inches back in 2024, and now the iPhone 17 has caught up and also rocks a 6.3 inch display. So holding them in hand, you barely feel a difference in size. The bezels on the 17 have gotten thinner, so it feels much more immersive than the older base models. Button-wise, both of them have the action button and the camera control. I'll be honest with you guys, I know Apple made a huge deal about the camera control when the 16 Pro came out, but for me, it's cool to have, but I don't use it that much. It's more of a nice to have than a game changer, but it's there on both, so you're not missing out. Okay, this is the big one, the display. For years, the biggest reason to buy a Pro phone was ProMotion, that 120Hz refresh rate. But finally, in 2026, the base iPhone 17 has it. It can go from 1 Hz all the way to 120 Hz. And let me tell you, it makes the base model feel expensive. It's buttery smooth. If you're coming from an iPhone 15 or 16 base model, this is gonna look like a different world to you. However, looking at them side by side, the iPhone 16 Pro still holds up incredibly well. The colors are accurate and the motion is just as fluid. The iPhone 17 does get brighter outdoors. It hits like 3000 nits peak compared to the 16 Pro's 2000 nits, but honestly, unless you're standing directly under the sun at noon, the 16 Pro is still really decent. One thing to note is how this interacts with iOS 26. The new liquid glass design with all those refractive animations, it really needs 120 Hz to look good. On older 60 Hz phones, it feels a bit heavy, but on both of these, it flies. Let's talk power. The iPhone 17 is rocking the new A19 chip, and the 16 Pro has the A18 Pro. I ran some Geekbench 6 tests just to see the raw numbers. On my 16 Pro, I'm getting about 3,448 single core and 8,748 multi-core, pretty solid. But the iPhone 17, it's pushing 3,573 single core and 9,143 multi-core. And for the GPU, the 17 scored 37,286 versus the 16 Pro's 32,766. So yeah, the base model iPhone 17 is technically faster than the Pro model from a year ago. It's kind of wild. In day-to-day use, opening apps, multitasking, the 17 feels just a tiny bit snappier. And with 8 GB of RAM on both of these, multitasking is still reliable. I remember re-reviewing older phones with 4 or 6 GB of RAM and apps would constantly reload in the background. That doesn't happen here. Both phones keep apps in memory really well. Gaming is insane on both. I play some AAA titles files, and while the 16 Pro improved thermals over the 15 Pro using that graphite sheet structure, it still gets warm. The iPhone 17 surprisingly handles heat really well, probably thanks to the efficiency of the A19, but both will crush any game you throw at them. Software-wise, we're running the latest iOS 26 on both. I mentioned the liquid glass design earlier. It's a huge visual upgrade. It makes iOS 18 feel old. But I did notice when I first updated, the 16 Pro got a little warm for a few days, probably just re-indexing files. It settled down, and battery life has been great since I turned on that new adaptive power feature. Now, Apple Intelligence. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's there, it works for basic stuff like summarizing emails or Genmoji, but it still feels like it's in early beta. For me, it's not a huge selling point yet. When I need real work done, I'm still opening Gemini or ChatGPT because they're just more powerful. However, there is some really good news on the horizon. Apple recently announced a massive collaboration agreement with Google to integrate Gemini directly into the iPhone ecosystem. This is huge because it means the future of AI on iPhone is going to be incredibly solid, basically bringing that Google level intelligence into Siri. But I have to be real with you, by this time right now in early 2026, it's not quite there yet compared to the competitors. So if you're quite just for Apple Intelligence, maybe wait, or at least keep your expectations in check for now. The good news is that this future update will come to both of these phones, so you're not missing out on that future potential. Alright cameras, this is where the divide happens. The iPhone 16 Pro has that triple camera setup, 48 megapixels main, 48 megapixels ultra wide, and that dedicated 12 megapixels 5x telephoto lens. That 5x zoom is the killer feature. If you like taking portraits or shots of buildings from far away, the 16 Pro destroys the iPhone 17. The iPhone 17 has a dual camera system. It's got a 48 megapixels main and a new 48 megapixels ultra wide, which is great, but it lacks the telephoto. It does a digital crop for zoom, and while it's okay for social media, you lose that optical compression and sharpness. However, the iPhone 17 has a secret weapon, the front camera. It's got this new 18 megapixel sensor that is honestly fantastic. It supports landscape selfies without turning the phone, and the quality for video calls or vlogging is noticeably better than the 16 Pro's 12 megapixels front cam. If you're a creator who films yourself a lot, the 17 wins here. But for video, both shoot 4K, but the 16 Pro can do 4K at 120 FPS, which is amazing for slow motion. The 17 is great, but the Pro still has those Pro video features. There is one major downside to the iPhone 17 that nobody talks about enough: the USB-C port. The iPhone 16 Pro supports USB 3 speeds, up to 10 gigabits per second. If you transfer 4K video to your laptop or an SSD, it's fast. The iPhone 17, it's still stuck on USB 2.0 speeds. It's 2026, and copying a 10-minute video off this phone takes a long time via cable. If you shoot a lot of video and move it to a PC or Mac, the 16 Pro is the only option here. So which one is better in 2026? The iPhone 17 is an amazing phone. The display upgrade to 120Hz finally makes the base model feel premium. It's faster, the front camera is great, and the Lavender design is fresh. But here is my hot take. I actually recommend you buy the iPhone 16 Pro. Why? Because the value proposition right now is insane. Since the 17 series dropped, the price of the 16 Pro has plummeted. You can pick one of these up like I did in great condition for the same price or less than a brand new base iPhone 17. And for that money, you're getting the titanium build, the 5x optical zoom, which is huge, faster USB 3 speeds, and 4K 120 FPS video. It's still a powerhouse. Sure, the 17 is a little faster on paper, but in real life, the 16 Pro keeps up comfortably. If you want a fun, fresh phone and you take a lot of selfies, get the 17. But if you want the best tool for your money, the 16 Pro is still the king of value in 2026. Anyway, that's just my experience. Let me know in the comments, would you take the old Pro or the new base? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.